Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Rancangan kami menawarkan banyak bahasa. Sila kunjungi suprememastertv.com/kehadapan schedule.
Vegan gardening is gardening without exploiting animals. So it's using homemade composts and fertilizers rather than animal composts and animal-based fertilizers. It's also gardening with wildlife in mind. I'm interested in growing what's nutritionally right for a vegan.
Continue watching to find out more.
Greetings, friendly viewers. I am Eunice. The genial people of the Republic of Sierra Leone, a beautiful coastal country on the west coast of Africa, welcome you with sunshine, sparkling white sand beaches, and scenic mountains. Thank you for your love and devotion, which helps protect nature and all beings on our planet. May the light of God shine upon you and guide us all towards greatness. The interest in vegan horticulture and gardening has expanded exponentially as more people become aware of how typical methods of growing plants and crops involve the use of environmentally damaging synthetic chemicals and practices that harm our precious animal co-inhabitants. The word horticulture comes from the combination of the Latin word hortus, or meaning garden, and cultura, or cultivation. It is the science and technique of producing, processing, and merchandising produce, grains, spices, herbs, flowers, and trees for food and ornamental purposes. Horticulturists seek to improve the growth, yields, quality, nutritional value, and resistance to insects, diseases, and environmental stresses of crops and plants. Today, we are delighted to interview a prominent vegan horticulturist, Matthew Appleby, who is the deputy editor of Horticulture Week, a leading UK online and print business journal for the professional horticulture community with 100,000 unique visitors monthly on its website. Matthew has been twice awarded the Writer of the Year by the Garden Media Guild. He is also the author of gardening books that assist gardeners in involving the whole family, as it includes fun and challenging monthly projects. His gardening techniques presented benefit our health and environment as well as are friendly to wildlife.
I'm Matthew Appleby. I'm editor at Horticulture Week. I first started about 20 years ago being a vegan. I realised this was quite a sort of doable way of living. What motivates most people to become vegan is because they care about animals and they care about the environment and they care about their health, and it's a combination of those three. Vegan gardening is gardening without exploiting animals. So it's using homemade composts and fertilizers rather than animal composts and animal-based fertilizers. It's also gardening with wildlife in mind. So rather than exploiting animals or trying to attract animals, it's leaving the animals to do their own thing on your plot. It's also gardening for vegan health. So I'm interested in growing what's nutritionally right for a vegan.
Matthew's latest book, The Super Organic Gardener, Everything You Need to Know About a Vegan Garden, provides advice on nutrition and organic growing without animal products. Instructions are provided on creating compost and buying natural fertilizers to ensure your garden remains truly vegan.
Well, I would say what I think is nutritionally right for a vegan is In my book, I talk about recommended daily allowances. Broad beans, for instance, they've got a lot of protein in. So this is always something to bear in mind. What's got most protein in, what's got most calcium in, iron, what's got the right minerals in. I make vegan compost just the same as anyone else would make a compost. You know, you can have your kitchen scraps, grass cuttings, leaves, you can have any leftover vegetable matter, but you just don't use anything that's animal-based. So you don't use anything which is from a farmed animal, and you wouldn't chuck in your eggshells, and you wouldn't chuck in meat anyway, because basically it doesn't compost well and it attracts rodents.
Vegan gardening encompasses many aspects, including composting and sharing your plot with wildlife and abstaining from using animal ingredients.
I'm quite interested in zoonotics, diseases passed from animals to humans. We're coming across that at the moment with coronavirus and back with BSE. And these diseases are becoming more relevant, and people need to think about where they're coming from. And with manures, they can carry these diseases, and also they can carry a lot of herbicides, which might not be necessarily good for your crops. You know, when people talk about wildlife-friendly gardening, they rarely mean wildlife-friendly gardening, because a lot of the wildlife in the garden isn't what they want. They don't like slugs. So I did a bit of a campaign about hug a slug, because in the right circumstances, slugs are fine and you don't need to hate slugs. And you know, there's a place for all these animals in the wild. But if you want to grow your crops and produce something, you need to manage it and you need to create an ecosystem. So it's just about a whole new way of thinking, really. There's not that many animals which are a real problem on your allotment if you've got like the right ecosystems working and you've got the right kind of mindset. And at the end of the day, which is absolutely anathema to most gardeners, I reckon, if you have to kill something to produce a plant, let the animal eat the plant and don't produce the plant. If you plant your broad beans in the autumn, hopefully they're robust enough to cope with a slug attack. If you cut off the bottom leaves of your crop and leave them on the ground, hopefully the slugs will eat them and not like your healthy plant. Or else you can go and pick them off in the morning and the evening and take them away, but they do come back. So you've got to be pretty, on top of things like that. But like I say, at the end of the day, if they eat your crop, then as long as you're not killing them, that's all right.
We will pause for an important message and then soon return. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back, enchanting viewers. Thank you for your focus on all things good and constructive around us. Matthew also wrote, "Vegans believe animal farming is wasteful of land and resources, cruel to animals, and the resulting meat, milk, and eggs are bad for human health. With increasing climate change and concern about diet and obesity, as well as animal welfare, the word vegan is ubiquitous at the moment. Making compost to replace animal manures is the other cornerstone of vegan gardening. Animal manures can contain harmful bacteria such as E. coli, and they are the byproducts of the animal farming system, which vegans do not want to support." This statement also aligns with important points that our beloved Supreme Master Ching Hai made during an interview with the late British journalist Charles Norton on August 8, 2009.
According to the largest study done on organic farming in the UK, your country, compared to conventional farms, organic farms contained 85% more plant species, with 71% taller and thicker hedges, and a healthy return of native animals across the species. Furthermore, organic vegan farming will halt the runoff of chemical fertilizers that have created monstrous dead zones in the ocean. Organic soy matter also absorbs CO2 so effectively that the Rhode Island Institute calls organic vegan farming a powerful strategy to reduce global warming by up to 40% of all CO2 emissions now in the atmosphere. Finally, see, we all benefit from better health because it's free of toxins and abundant in nutrients without the genetic modification and cancer-causing pesticides. In contrast to animal products, which are known to cause cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and obesity, etc., organically farmed fruits and vegetables contain abundant nutrients that help us to avoid all these modern conditions. Surely organic vegan food is the only food we should feel safe and would feel safe and will feel safe. In fact, we will feel the safest food to give to our children.
No-dig gardening simulates nature. As vegetation dies, it falls to the ground where it decomposes and combines with the soil where it naturally becomes filled with nutrients.
I don't dig, and I think it's really, really common in a lot of areas of gardening now, and non-vegan gardeners are increasingly not digging, and a lot of people see this as a really good idea because you don't want to disturb the layers of the soil because you create erosion, you break up your beneficial animals' homes. So I'd plant cover crops. Hopefully they'll break down and put some nitrogen back in the soil, get some organic matter back in the soil, which will create quite a good sort of soil crumb. And if necessary, if there's some sort of pernicious weeds, I'll hoe them off rather than digging deep.
Our appreciation, Matthew Appleby, for your dedication to assisting gardeners to attain healthy and ecologically sound green spaces. May the heavens forever bless you. We hope to see more of your work in the future. Best wishes for your noble prospective endeavors. And whether our viewers have balcony planters, a backyard plot, or an indoor garden, we encourage you to implement organic vegan gardening practices to create an oasis for your soul. Matthew Appleby's book, The Super Organic Gardener, Everything You Need to Know About a Vegan Garden, is available at Amazon.com. Noble viewers, thank you for your presence today on our program. Coming up next is The True Meaning of Monkhood, Part 4 of 9, on Between Master and Disciples, right after noteworthy news. May the divine nature of God be present in your life.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/VE.